Okay, let's go. Hey, Horror Society, this is Bernie Rao, the director of Killer Sofa. Thank you so much for watching the film. You guys are great. And hopefully, this inspires you to create and have a good one. And if I have a sequel, I'll definitely come to you guys. Thank you.
To do something that wasn't so cookie cutter of like modern horrors, but where did the idea specifically of like a chair being your choice of killer for the film, like where was it's such a obviously random thing? Was it one of those things where you're looking around the
Yeah,
room and you're like, you know what, that's it? Or is it something else that made
yeah,
you choose it?
that was exactly it. I was like, I came from another film, which was a black comedy, and I was looking for some inspiration to make another film. And I started watching horror films because I wanted to do a horror film, right? It's like something like John Carpenter type of thing. And a friend of mine had asked me to babysit his crap. Like he gave me a lot of crap from his house because he was moving houses. So he gave me this recliner chair. And he was there, and I was like, man, I should have an antagonist that is some kind, strange and funny. And I saw the recliner chair there, and immediately I thought, man, this would be such a great film. I don't know, it's just a
Yeah.
stupid idea, but for me, it was like, okay, uh, I'll try. That was the challenge, try to make an antagonist out of a stupid thing, because you got to challenge yourself when you're shooting, right? Otherwise, you just end up with a movie that's just like the other thousand movies that came out every month, right? On the YouTube or Netflix. So yeah, I just tried. I started. Okay, I will try to write the story, see what I can do with this, and just kept growing, and I just kept doing it. And I think it was the face when I bought that recliner, and it had that face with those eyes. I thought, man, this is such a good like visual moment that uh, like creates interest just by itself. When I put the camera there and you get that face, which is like a mopey face, it's just I can write a story with this. Right? That's what I thought. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, it's great though because it's one of those things as well that makes me like when you are looking around your room and you see like objects that don't have faces but it looks like it has faces and it starts to make you think or like especially if it's dark and stuff and you think you see more as well. I think it's like
yeah.
but it's just coming from home from that film and obviously immediately as I come in, the first thing I do is look at my armchair and I'm like, you better not be
Yeah,
moving. Like it's such a just fun and different thing.
yeah.
And I think it's right. It's like a lot of people will dismiss these kind of films where it's like, oh well, it's just it's just something silly. But it's like, yeah, but it's original. It's fun.
Yeah,
Like how many I was saying this when I went to the cinema recently. It's like every single
yeah,
trailer was all remakes or sequel stuff, and it was all
yeah,
like same things. And it's like maybe it doesn't have the same budget and the same things, and it is meant to be a bit of fun. It's meant to be quite silly, but at the end of the day, it's something different, and it's great. Like I'm a
yeah,
film student, and one thing I always find is like looking for those completely different things because it's the time to be like challenged and to do something crazy, do something different. So I think a lot of like
yeah.
smaller budget horrors are great in like great inspiration. I know you said you had bought your own equipment and stuff, so you had that set. And then it's just a budget for the rest of it, and then like
Yeah.
bringing in friends and stuff. I mean, that must be really fun as well.
Man, that
Having a
was the
set with with where it's a bunch of your friends and stuff. There's got to be some like someone was asking you, did you have any like really like fun memories whilst on set with? And if you've got you had people you knew, it must have been
Of
entertaining.
course, man. It's like for me, I don't make money with the films, right? I never made money with this, although it's sold to a lot of territories and stuff. We can go through that if you want. But,
Yeah.
for me, like all my movies, I made like now 7 movies, like 6 feature films, okay? And all the movies for me, it's a memory album, man, because I have so much fun doing it. It's like I love it. I love the whole process of writing the script, calling actors, coming to shoot, editing, post production. I love it all, right? So for me, like you say, I don't really care. I mean, I do care, but the movie is not bringing me money. It's
Mm.
just it's just so much fun to do. And you're right. Today, these days, man, we're fighting obscurity, right? It's like this is our fight. It's like there's so much stuff going on, so many people making movies now with AI. It's like you go to Sora, and
God.
I just watched today like a short film that this dude did, and I was like, fuck, this is insane, man. I don't know where this is going. I find it all very exciting. I don't know what this means to me, or if I'm going to use it or not. But you're right. You as a film student, I mean, you will know this. It's like, it's fun, man. And as long as you keep having fun, uh, it's worth it, man. It's like, and then there's another conversation about how are you going to make money in this industry, right? Because this is hard. It's like very, very hard. But yeah, it's like, why make a movie with a killer recliner chair? I mean, that's so stupid. It's like, I know, it's like, if I went back now 2 years or 4 years when I made this, it's like, if I had that rational moment, like thinking, okay, is this a good idea?
Yeah.
Is this really a good idea? Because I know how people react when they see the poster. It's like, come on, I'm not gonna watch that shit. Like, killer recliner chair. But hey, the movie is just more than the idea, right? It's all the actors, all the scenes, all the music, all the stuff that you put there. So yeah,
Yeah, well, like absolutely. I think having films where it doesn't have to be like just about the money, but doing something where it's like your films are your portfolio of personality and interest at the end of the day. Like your films are quite different from the ones that you've done. It seems like there's a few different areas and stuff. And then Killer Sofa was just this new horror, and it's like, but you've got to just go for it at the end of the day, and you've got to have fun with it.
Yeah,
but-
just release yourself into it and
Yeah.
see what ideas come out, because that's what you have to give to the world. And that's like a big lesson, right? These days it's so easy to make something look good, like cinematography and stuff. Man, that's like a recipe. You put 3 lights, you put a 50 1.4 and a DSLR, and you have that beautiful image. Everybody can do that, but nobody can do what Isabel will do, right? It's like nobody can do what I will do, because it comes from me, like this idea from my head, right? So yeah, that's the way to go. And I think that'll be the future, right? People will go for you because they want to know what you can do, like what's going inside your head, right? That's what I think.
Honestly, it's the best thing. And it was one of the things that like one of the things that everyone was saying, I got a lot of comments was for your film specifically, and this is gonna be something specific for your film, is how crazy, like when we're going into it, you didn't expect, like, you were like, okay, it could look good, could look whatever, but how crazy was it how good the armchair actually looked and moved during that film? Actually blew our minds, especially in the scene where he stands up, and I'm like,
oh my god,
how the way that you guys were able to make something so like bizarre. Because when I saw Killer Sofa, I'm like, oh, you're never going to see it move, or you might see it move like once in the film, and the rest of the film it's just going to be static shots like the whole way through. I did not expect any kind of movement at all. I was like, no way you're going to be able to do that. And then you have it, it's constantly moving and it's standing up. Like, how, I gotta know, like, how did you guys get that? Was it all editing, or was it like practical in there?
No, it's like it had to be practical. Like, that's basically somebody behind the sofa moving the thing, right? It's
For a lot of when he's peeking around. Oh, someone did say they just love the scene where he's peeking. He like peeks around the doorway. It's just so unexpected and surprisingly creepy for an armchair.
It's like it started building up. Like I knew at first we wouldn't see it moving, and it would have to be a crescendo where now he's moving, now he's talking, now he's standing up, now he's flying, right? But it's just I knew it had to be based in real world physics. Like it couldn't just run through a door. No, Sofa would have difficulty. So I was thinking when I was writing the story, like, okay, if this is real and this is actually possessed and killing people, how would it kill? Because it's not speed, it's not that. I think like of that size, speed is not his major weapon, right? It's more like nobody suspecting this is the killer. This is a weapon, right? And when you realize it's already too late because it's on top of you, right? Of course, it has the springs and stuff. But yeah, moving the recliner was like, it was like just my sound guy would go behind the recliner, would just move it around, and and then a lot happens in the editing, of course, when Maxie is with her car and she hears a noise and she looks at the window and the thing is staring at her from the window. Come
Oh,
on,
I
that's
did love
like,
that scene.
you know, if you put like
Yeah.
someone there but not a sofa, would also be creepy. You know, it's like it's the
Yeah.
moment. It's creepy. You know, it's
It is.
And then when she looks again, it's not there, and she's like,
Mm.
okay, did I see that right? Was that?
Yeah.
You know, that's what I find cool. That's what keeps me not bored in movies, right? It's like if the filmmakers give me this, right? Okay, they're not just giving me stuff that I've seen 1,000 times. Give me something I haven't seen, you know, and it's as simple as peeping through a window and she looks again, it's not peeping, you know, doesn't cost anything. It's cheap to make, right? So yeah.
But it works so well, like because there was so many scenes where you just kind of you see it there moving or it creeps around something, and it's again it's
Yeah.
just like that surprisingly eerie kind of feeling. I think it's the eyes as well, because those eyes are so the chair, that was another thing. The chair is so expressive for a chair. It was like
Yeah.
one of the biggest compliments coming out of that film is like that chair is just the whole time you can really feel it. You can feel exactly what it's thinking for an armchair, and it's like, no, I know exactly what this. It's just it's so great. I love it, and
Yeah.
like it's like I said, like the scene near the end where it's, you know, we get the reveal that there is somebody in there,
Yeah.
and you see that the chair come up, and I'm like, what?
Yeah,
Like,
that's,
oh, okay.
that's such a great scene when he stands up, man. It's like, come on, it's awesome. That's why I knew when I saw it standing up, we did some tests, right? And I said, man, this is such a good moment. We need to like milk this moment. So this needs to be the climax of the film, right? Because it's so good. Of course, some filmmakers would put this at 20 minutes, right? In. So, oh, now it stands up and runs. Yeah, it could work as well. I don't know. I mean, it's like I didn't have any money at all. This didn't cost anything, this movie.
Yeah.
So I knew I had to milk the film, right? It's like a slow burner, you know, like, okay, sometimes it's risky because people can get bored. And a lot of people like, this movie, I don't understand. It's just like, it's so boring. And well, you know, it's what I could do for $10,000 or whatever this cost, right? So it's like,
Yeah, I think it was I think it was just so much better having it at the end, like in my opinion, from the way I go and from the audience, like from the screening's reaction, like having, you know, we're seeing these little bits of it and we're like, you know, we're getting like, oh, like what's gonna happen every time it does more and more, and it's like traveling and stuff. And then you get to this final scene, you know it's gonna be this climax, but you're not really sure like how it's gonna go, and then you just suddenly see it stand up and everyone was just like, oh shit, this is great. Was that still your soundy just like pushing it up, or was there like
no.
how
The
was
sound,
that?
the sound would have to be. I had to put it in post, like, because I would like. I wanted to hear the springs, so it gives weight to the thing. So when it gets up, you hear all the mechanism unfolding. Because I could not show. If I was James Cameron, of course, I would put a camera inside the thing and see the thing building up, of course. But I don't have that. So we wanted to build the moment where, and you see everything coming, you know, like a creature, right? So,
Well, I genuinely thought there was someone inside that chair. I was like, there's got to be, like, when I watched the scene, I was like, have you actually shoved a person inside the chair and they're standing up? That's all I could think the whole time. I was like, I don't know.
I don't remember how we
so
did
well.
it. I think I had to remove the mechanism from inside the sofa because it's so heavy. So the guy would go behind it and would just stand up with the thing. But it's still, it's very, very heavy. You know, it's a sofa.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
So,
obviously. But it worked so well. Like I said, like when I watched it, and I was thinking, I was going to ask you, I was like, oh yeah, you like, did you put someone in there like a costume? But no, clearly you just lift up. But it made it look so clean. It looks like, so it's so great. I just love all the like all the production design that went into that film.
Yeah, we had to be careful because sometimes I was shooting and sometimes you would see the hand holding the sofa in the on the side or the reflection on the window. So but it's sometimes I needed to clean some stuff with After Effects, like a little finger or something. But yeah, but yeah, thank you, thank you. It's great to hear.
You're very welcome. There was another question one person had, which was obviously you have like some constraints with your budget. Was there anything that you would have liked to have done more with if you had a bigger budget, or was everything like, did you have to cut anything out or like change the way something was done for budget that you would change if you had more budget this time, or is it like, you were like happy with you're
I don't
happy
know.
with
I
what
never
you do?
felt like I didn't have budget to do what I wanted. Of course, I wanted, for example, I would want another sofa because I only had one. This was it,
Mm.
right? So I could not throw it from a window like I wanted to do. There was a scene I wanted to do like that. Uh, so sometimes, by the end of the film, because I shot it in sequence almost, by the end of the film, the mouth, you see that it's a bit deformed because the stitches start opening up on the sofa, and now I could not keep the mouth closed anymore. So it was
Yeah.
like it's like the sofa had a seizure or something. So
Oh,
I was like, oh
gosh.
my god, I hope this movie, I can get to the end of this movie, because I don't know how I'm going to reconstruct the face, right? Because
Yeah.
I don't have a costume designer. We don't have anything. We have the sofa, right?
Yeah.
And if the face is not working, it's not working. I don't know how to fix it. I don't.
Mm.
So yeah.
Yeah. So
So
I guess
but I didn't need any money. Like, money was not the problem. Sometimes I would give. It would be better. It would be good to have a little bit more money to spare to buy good food for the actors, for example, because all the actors were like, we'll do it for free. It's fine. Nobody got paid. So yeah, sometimes those extras would be nice, but I never felt, I want to do this and I can't because I don't have money. No, I could do anything. I have a camera, I have a microphone, and I have my actors. Man, come on, that's all we need, right? And some lights, and so yeah. I guess when people have the budget thing, it's because when you're shooting with the crew, 20 people, and the sound director suddenly says, "Oh, sorry guys, you don't have money to pay me, so the movie now has no sound," right? So this is when you need the money. Like, okay, pay the dude or pay the woman. We need to get sound in the movie. But because I'm doing everything with a friend, or there's never that problem. If somebody cannot do it, it can be replaced. It's no big deal, right?
Yeah. I guess having that, like, because you already had the equipment established ahead of time, so you had like the camera, which already made the film look a lot nicer than a lot of like like smaller movies do anyway. And then like you say, like working with friends, it just makes it so much easier because you not got that same like fear that they're gonna just disappear on you. They're there for the long run.
There's always that fear. And I tell you something,
Oh yeah.
Like when I started making films, I started making films with my friends. Of course you will, because they are your friends. But friends, sometimes they're not the best people to work with, because they'll be like, I'm bored, I'm out of here, and they're gone, right? It's like, sometimes it's good to work with like-minded people, like other people who want to be actors, because now there's a sort of agreement you all guys do, and it's more professional sometimes to just friends. Of course, by the end of the shoot, they're all my friends, man. They're my family now. Like that's why I love making films. I make so many friends when I make films. People I still keep in touch with, right? But yeah, people disappearing on you, man. That's my major fear. It's like, oh my god, if this actress tells me she's not gonna come anymore, I'm done, man. Because I got 20 more days to shoot with her, right? Or it's like,
it's always the last minute ones as well, where they're like, everything's fine, and then suddenly like the night before they're like, by the way, I can't come anymore, and you're like, oh god, like, okay, great. It's like-minded people, but like obviously it must have been like a good, pretty dedicated team in the end. Like the way it came out, you can tell there is like a level of like production that just again feels a bit higher than a lot of films that can come out in like the same region and stuff. I think that's one of the other things as well, is a lot of the films, you kind of have an automatic expectation. Like even I had it when I saw the title of the film. I was like, okay, all right. I had just recently watched Graveyard Shark not that long before, and that had been like, it was funny at points, but I was like, what the hell is going on? And I'd watched that and I was like, oh, okay. So I was like, that was a wild movie to watch, but it was one of those like, I'll put it in the background. So I was coming into this and I was like, oh, but I think it is just, the production
Yeah.
production value of it came out, and I like obviously one of the best bits as well is just the everyone loved like the comedy and stuff. And for me, my personal favorite scene is when she's lighting the matches and she keeps trying to set him alight and he keeps
Of
blowing it
course.
out. I just that scene made me chuckle so much.
It's
And
so much fun.
there
Yeah.
was such a brilliant scene because I kept thinking, kept going like, oh, what if he just like, he blows it out, and it just kept happening. It really did make me laugh, and there were so many
Yeah.
scenes where like, the whole screening, everyone was laughing. Did you like, someone was saying like, did you fully approach it just like mostly comedy, or did you go actually like, did you still approach it with the sides of like, no, I like want some genuine fear and some genuine horror in there? Because there were like we said earlier, like there's scenes where you genuinely like, oh, it's kind of eerie when you see him in the window
Yeah.
or you see him peering around. Even if it's something like a chair, it's still like got this level of eeriness. Did
Yeah.
you really want to focus on the comedy, or did you feel like you approached the entire film with like sort of balanced mindset
Look,
of it?
look, for me, it's like I'm not brave enough to make a comedy where I go for laughs, right? Because nobody would laugh. It's just my worst nightmare. It's like
Yeah.
I cannot even, I mean, it makes me cringe, right? So
Mm.
I knew this was a funny idea in my head. If I was alone thinking about the film, I was like laughing. For me, my rule was, okay, every scene, every moment in the movie needs to make me smile. I don't have to laugh, right? But I
Yeah.
need to smile for some reason, either because of a reaction or because what the sofa does or because what he
Yeah.
says. I was not going for laughs. I was going for, okay, I watched this with a smile all the way to the end. And you know, I shot it straight. Yes, I did. I
Mm.
didn't want to like the actors to, and sometimes that works in movies, and I love when that happens. But I didn't want the actors to be conscious that they're in a silly movie, right? For me,
Yeah.
no, we're doing a straight movie, right? Like The Conjuring, right? Where we're fucking
Yeah.
going for like everybody needs to be super committed, and that's what makes it funny, right? Because you're like,
Yes.
man, come on, all these people giving all their best in
Yeah.
for a movie about the recliner chair. That's
Yeah.
hilarious, right? So,
I,
and I wanted to look good. That was like my thing. It's like cinematography. I want this, and the camera was cheap, right? This is a Blackmagic camera. It was like, it's more the lighting, like the way you put the lights and the lenses to use and stuff. It's like, I wanted to like look with, have some dignity, right? Because I know what you're saying, like horror B movies, man, sometimes they shoot it like really, really badly and everything is out of focus. And there's a place for that, but that's not the type of movies I watch, So I watch The Shining, right? It's like, my God, The Shining, that's it. That's what I want to do, right?
yeah.
So I'm doing something that I want to come with some, needs to be well presented. And if that means I'm not running around the actors with the camera because, that's more interesting. I'd rather have a better image and a better, a slower pace, but it needed to look good for me, at the moment, right? So I don't know. These days, maybe I would do it differently, but, that's it. I went straight, like horror film. The music, of course, it was a little bit too serious sometimes, but,
Yeah, I think it adds to it though.
but I love it, man. It's like, I don't know. It just came out the way it came out, right? You cannot control. There was not a vision. I just kept doing it and eventually wrapped it up, right? It's like, okay, this is it. Then,
Yeah.
And it came out well. I think I love it. I mean, but it's my movie. I don't know. It's like,
Yeah, I mean, it's always your films are always going to be your baby. It's one of those things where you're like, you're going to be protective of it. And I get what you mean about like the comedy aspect, because as well, if you try to make people laugh, it's very hard because everyone has such a different like feeling towards, like everyone has different kinds of comedy, and no one's gonna ever like have the exact same laughs as you. So trying to approach it and be like, oh, I'm going to make these people laugh, rather than just like, I love that it's like, I just want to make them smile, because at the end of the day, it's what it's about. It's like the entertainment and the enjoyment of it. It's like having fun. It's that's what it all is. And I like it certainly worked for us anyway. Like we did laugh, but we just smiled the whole way through. There was never a point where it's like, this just feels like really boring now. And but also it not being too like, it's still having that level of seriousness where you said, like, with the actors, where they're still acting like it's, a horror movie. They're not just taking it completely ridiculously. I think it's kind of nice, because sometimes where it goes too far where it's like everything's just silly. You just end up like you can't like enjoy it. Like sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It really depends on the film. But yeah,
Yeah.
I enjoyed it, and I thought the cast was great. I thought it was just like such a nice little rounded cast. I especially loved Maxie in it. That's the name, yeah.
Maxie
Yeah.
is Natalie, man, Natalie Morris. Now she's big in Australia. She
Mm.
became like after the movie. She of course she would be. She was man. When I cast her, I was like, I can't believe she's gonna be in my film because she's so good. It's like she was like I knew immediately that after my film she was gonna go places. It's like, and she went, and now she's in Australia making billions of bucks, and it's like because she's
Jesus.
like Netflix. She has a series. She's working with Blumhouse. There's gonna be a new movie coming out because you just feel it, right? And when I
Mm.
was doing lots of acting, some were amateur actors, which is fine for me. It's like I don't care. It's we can work something out. But Natalie was the one where I would tell her something, give her a note, and she immediately went there. It's like incredible, right? So it was a huge privilege to work with her. Like she would
Mm.
never now work with me again, right? Because that's it. She
Oh,
went to another place. But man, at that time, I was so lucky to get her. Like, oof,
yeah,
it's incredible. And she was like
yeah.
a trooper, man. She was always there on time, super professional. You know, man, I would love to work with her again, but now she I cannot afford to pay her.
Oh,
Yeah,
it is a shame. It'd be great, like, to have her back because I think it was. I feel like all the characters. I think for one, all their stories were really interesting. Like, I never felt like there was one character that was introduced where I was like, "Why are you here?" or like, "What is your
yeah,
part?" or "You're doing something that completely ridiculous." I really love the fact that she's just so like she pushes forward so much, and even with like Francesca as well, like they're very active in the film rather than just being like constantly being like, but it's a chair, is and
yeah.
every character just felt like just great. It was good fun watching everyone. I just especially loved her. I got so scared when she got thrown out into a bin, and I was like, please don't don't
Yeah,
kill her off now. And I was like, no, like don't take her out. And then she came back, so that was nice. But it was,
yeah,
yeah, I love all the like just all this even like the boyfriend or like the guy, and he's and he's gay, and then he's like not there for most of the time, and but he's still like his story fits so nicely into
yeah.
it, like
Thank you,
where it's
man.
like
Yeah.
it makes sense how he's added in. And the God, I forgot their names. We've not watched it in a few weeks, but like the rabbi and the
The
partner
rabbi, yeah,
there.
yeah,
And it's
yeah,
just he makes me chuckle when he touches the chair, and then
yeah,
he's seeing it all, and it's just, yeah, I loved all the characters, and it's really fun to watch them all. It
yeah.
like obviously I'd love to see them all back because you say Maxie might be out of contact, but like, well, I mean, one of the biggest things that I was asked, and we had to ask, which I now have realized that maybe we already know, was about a possible sequel. And then I
Yeah.
saw your email, and I was like,
Oh
there's a
my God.
poster in here. And I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know what you're allowed to say or what process it's in at the
Look,
moment, but I
the
was like,
truth is,
I've got to ask.
I've been, people have been asking for a sequel for years now. Okay.
Yeah.
So my situation is I've been trying to make a sequel. It's like, I just been in Berlin film market, and I was talking with investors, possible investors, and I got an amazing artist from Slovenia who is the super kitsch, and he wants to be in a movie. It's just I'm trying to get money for the film because Killer Sofa cost me like nothing. I made the Killer Sofa during weekends, like a student film, right?
Yeah.
And for this one, I was trying to get some money to make something a little bit higher in production value. Like I wanted to shoot in a castle, I wanted to be big, and
Yeah.
and I'm still trying. Look, I don't know. Yeah, it is there. I wrote a few scripts. I had a studio from India interested at some point, and now they're not interested anymore. This is how making movies is really. It's like, okay, you're chasing the money until one day you say, hell with this. I'm going to make it myself. That's what I did
Yeah.
with Killer Sofa, right? It's like Killer Sofa showed up because I was trying to get money for another film that I could never do. And Killer
Oh.
Sofa was like, oh man, I'm going to take my camera, I'm going to take my microphone, and I'm going to get some actors friends, and we're gonna make a movie. That's it. And the movie starts on Friday, right? And maybe Killer Sofa 2 will be made like that. I don't know. I have a script. I have everything. It's just I still had the hope that something would come up. Maybe I'm manifesting for the future, but if it doesn't, it will probably happen. But it would have to be like Killer Sofa 1, right? I'll just gonna do it when I have time. Yeah, I would love to do it, man. I would love to get Natalie back. Maybe she would be back. I don't know. I never talked with her. I just after the movie, she went and did other things, but because she was the only one who didn't live in the city where the movie took place. All the other people, I see them all the time, right? But Natalie, she was from Australia. She went to Australia, and then I lost contact with her. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. Like, obviously, as you say, like, it's never just easy. Like, some people are like, oh yeah, you just do the script and then it'll be fine and stuff. But it's not. Obviously, it takes a lot of time. But I know there'll be plenty of support over here. I was just because we were talking about, like, obviously, because the ending has a sort of cliffhanger where you're obviously the spirits have moved on to the people. Francesca's stuck in the chair, and Maxie kind of realized, it's gone wrong, and it's like, okay, we're setting up something here. And we saw your post saying about 2025, and we're like, oh, here we go. And the email, I got so excited about that post. I was like, oh, I'm really interested. Would you say anything about potential, like, what the plot might be? Because is it going to be prequel or sequel? Because if it's a sequel, then is the sofa not now possessed by someone that isn't a killer, or is he still got control of it?
Yeah, look, I mean, I had like a couple of years ago, I had this studio who wanted to make a franchise out of Killer Sofa, right? Because there was some review on YouTube that a Spanish guy made a review and put like, now it's the start of a franchise like Sharknado or something. And I was like, man, that's such a great idea. And the studio was like, yeah, let's do a franchise. So I wrote a script based on several recliners that come together to actually make a sofa, right? So it's like that was the idea. And they're like, yeah, man, we're gonna do it. And I was like, okay, so this film, the one you saw, the poster you saw in the email, is one of them. Like, it's like taking place in a castle in Ireland or Slovenia or whatever the money comes from, right? And it's a wedding, and somebody's getting married, and the sofa wakes up from in the catacombs and falls in love with the bride and starts killing its way to the altar. That's pretty much it, right? It's like
I love that.
So that was it. It was like, okay, let's do it in a castle. Let's do it like similar to Killer Sofa 1. It's a sofa in love, and it's about a girl, and it's it's the same things but bigger, right? With bigger production value. And I want to see teeth now. You want
to add the teeth in the posters?
Yes, man. I want
you want to add it in.
That sofa in the poster, I want to make that like the sofa, right? So the first one, I didn't have any money, and the poster only came afterwards, right?
Yeah.
So if I had seen that poster before I made the movie, I was like, man, I need to make those teeth because that looks amazing, right? So yeah, that's the idea, man. I just been to Berlin, talking with people. I took the poster, I took the teasers, and there was interest. It's just I just don't know if the money will come through. I'm still working on it, but yeah, hopefully, if it comes, it might happen really quickly, right? Because this is something easy to shoot, right? It's like 3 months, I get this done. So we'll see. Hopefully, I would love to do it, man. That's the best thing.
Honestly, it'd be if it ever gets built, it's able to take off. I know it's going to be definitely, if it's soon enough, I will certainly be wanting to show it because I'm president next year, so I will be in control of what's getting screened next year. And I just know, if Killer Sofa 2 comes out, it is going to be screened because loads of the people that saw it this year are still there next year. So everybody wants to see it. Everyone's ready for it. So if it ever gets to come out, it's going to be screened. It's going to be loved. They've already discussed that they want a little statue of the sofa as our little mascot for mascot. They genuinely love it. They really want a little mascot of the Killer Sofa, and we'd definitely be keeping an eye out to see if anything comes out, or if there's any other horror films that you make and stuff that we can screen whatever like arrives. We'll just have to be keeping an eye out and be
Look,
sharing it, because I know it'll be
for
fun.
me, sometimes it goes up and down. Like my motivation to make it is like, because I don't really follow what's going on with the film anymore. You know, I don't go on YouTube, and I try on Twitter, try to retweet whatever, you know,
Yeah.
comes out about the movie. But sometimes I think, I mean, do people really want this, like a sequel to this, or this is just a joke that if I go and make a sequel, people are like, we've seen that. It's like, sometimes I just don't know, right? It's like, I don't have enough data to tell me, yeah, people really want this. You know, I think people would like to see it if it's, you know, if it's well done and it follows the type of comedy. Maybe I would do it more comedic this time, like a little bit more, not too much, but not so serious maybe. But thank you. Yes, if I'll make the movie, I'll certainly send you an email saying, Isabella, here it is. You know, like, let's go.
Oh, but yeah, please do, because like I can you can understand that like fear. It's very confusing quite a lot of the times, because there is that like level of, you know, some people might enjoy it, but then like, okay, but do people, you know, if I'm going to put my time and effort into this, do people really, really want this? But I think it's one of those, sometimes you just get those lucky with the like, even if it's a small cult following, and I don't know, I think it's just, it works, and it's got, you know, I'm a Letterboxd user, so I look at all the reviews and stuff on there as well. And people, even though, you know, you're always going to have the high and the lows, but there's still people on there like supporting and loving it, and I think it's great. It's like, you know, it's well deserved. I say it's a higher production for like what, you know, for what it is. It's a very pretty much zero budget.
Look, I'm incredibly like honored, like surprised. That's why I wanted to talk to you, because when people say they loved it, it's like, man, it's such a good feeling. Of course, when people say they hate it, I mean, now it's like, it doesn't hurt me anymore, because I don't really follow. But of course, it's always good to hear that some people are having fun with it. But for me, it seems like I'm detached so much from the film, from the first film. It's not mine anymore. I watched the film as like, my God, I like it, but I cannot, like, I have a memory of making the film, of course, but now the film doesn't mean anything to me, because it's like, it's not mine anymore. It's like, it's a film on YouTube. I mean, there's so many versions of YouTube on YouTube, like any language, Spanish, Italian and stuff. So makes me, very proud, man. It was like, come on, I managed to a little bit pierce through this obscurity thing, you know, like, okay, some people watch it. It's amazing, you know, like, it's so hard. Yeah.
It's one of those things. I was like, even if you hadn't responded to say yes about the film, I still think it's very like, it was important to say something either way. Like, even if you said like, oh no, I can't call, or like whatever, I think it's really important to make sure like everyone gets to know, and like, hey, actually, you know, it did, and it's been a few years since the film's come out, but still, you know, it's reaching these like small pockets of people, and like these small groups of people around the world. It's be like, actually, you know, it might have been something that came out a while ago, and it's like, it's not, you know, it's not alien, but like, it's still, there's still people out there that are loving it and appreciate like what you did and appreciate the work you put in. It's great.
Just the fact that we're talking about it, like, you know, we would never meet if it was not because of this film. You guys would never watch this on your, you know, cinema. It's amazing to me, like, that this movie made it to your, you know, antennas, and you guys decided to watch this. There's so much to watch. It's like, come on, there's hundreds of movies. Why did you choose this one? Right? It's like, it's incredible to me. It's man, I love it. It's like, come on.
It's a fun thing about having like because we say it's the Horror Society. It's a fun thing about it is having the opportunity to see so many different kinds of films. Because you know, everybody, we want to see a classic every once in a while, and like we want to see some more popular films. But you know, this was, I can't remember. I think like the week before it was Longlegs or something, and then the week after was something else. Like it was, I can't remember. I think it might have been like New Nightmare the week after. So, it's like, you've got like a modern, quite popular film that came out, and then you like after you had like a bit of an older, sequel film for a franchise, but still films like Killer Sofa are in there and they get to be shown. And I like definitely want to do more of that next year. Is just making sure that all these different kinds of films, because I think it's great for people to really experience it. Because a lot of people just will dismiss it and they'll be like, oh, it's whatever, it's garbage. But I think it's good to give it a chance, give it a look. These are the people that make these like lower budget or zero budget films are the one, like the backbone of the film industry, especially horror. Horror is those indie films. Horror, it lives off indie films.
Because they're made with passion, man, and people are very passionate about this. And and for me, it's like just the fact that you guys watched it till the end and everybody had fun, and the film ended and everybody was like, man, I got my money's worth. Not money, time's worth, right? Because it's like, that's so man, I feel so appreciated. Like, come on, that's a miracle these days, that you can keep somebody watching for 90 minutes of film. It's like, oof. There's movies I don't watch for 90 minutes. I watch for 10 minutes, But then again, you guys are having fun. It's a group, and it's a little bit different, but still,
It still worked really well because it was one of the most interactive we've had screening wise, is because quite a lot of the time before, we'd sit quietly together, and then I tended to try and like encourage people. We have these discussions after the film. So we go, okay, like, we've watched the film, everyone goes off, and then we go, right, what, stick your hand up. What did you like? What did you hate? What would you, whatever, and then we do the tier list thing. But it was always, it was pretty quiet, and like whenever we had these films, and then Killer Sofa came along, and I've just, it like changed everything. Like everyone was so just active in it, and after we finished the film, like it was one of the longest conversations we've had post, because we always have these conversations about films. We always have it to be like, oh, I'd like this, but I didn't. It was one of the longest ones we've ever had, is just talking about Killer Sofa and everything we loved about it. And I tell you what now, like, there was very few things that were said that was like, that were like, oh, this could have been better. Pretty much, I'd say at least 95% of the comments were all just like, oh, I loved this scene. I love this character. I love when this person did this. I loved this. It was just genuine, like entertainment. And like I said, even now, we watched it quite a few weeks ago. Even now, people still talk about it, and it got onto the awards.
Man,
it made it through to the awards. Like, it's our little thing that it got put into a few different categories and stuff. So every time it showed up, everyone's cheering along. It's just one of those.
It's incredible.
It's a lucky choice,
and it's good if you guys are filmmakers, man. If I was a filmmaker, and had watched this when I was starting out making films, man, it would be an inspiration, because I can tell you this was very cheap to make, and I'm not, I'm not super talented or anything. This is like, with the gear, it's so cheap. With the actors, none of the actors are professionals except Chad Brophy, who was in Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit.
Yeah, I did see that on Letterboxd. Yeah,
Natalie, but it's like, man, as long as it inspires people to go and create, because anybody can make a movie these days, and this is the proof, right? It's like, come on, I make a movie about Killer Sofa, and nobody would give me money to do this, right? It's like,
so it is great. Let's say, like, because there's quite a lot of like game students and stuff, but just like as a film student again, like myself, it was seeing, because we basically have our equipment free at the camp. Well, technically it's not free because we're paying the campus to be here, but but we can take them out as much as we want, and like seeing films like this, like, what can you do? Because we don't get budget, we don't really get budget. We had to raise it if we get anything, and we might get like 300 pounds if we're lucky, 300 like 500 pounds. And it's like working off nothing, and like I've done some horror shorts like myself, like that's why it's what my interest is. So it's like I've tried to do a lot of that, and watching stuff like this, like, okay, in my head I'm like, oh, can I really do that with that kind of budget? But actually, yes you can. And I think a lot of film students need these smaller films to remember actually what you can do with a minimal budget, and what you can do with a group of your, like, challenging because everyone's always looking to like the expensive films and stuff. You're never going to make a film like that. You're never going to be able to do that. Get that out of your mind. Look at what great productions can be made with such a
Yeah,
smaller budget and size.
because is the thing when you talk about budget. When I talk about budget for this new Killer Sofa film, is because now I'm older, and I have a rent to pay, and I have expenses.
Yeah.
I have pets that need to eat. It's like if I when I was making Killer Sofa, I had a day job, right? I had another job, so the budget, I never sat down and thought, how much
No.
budget do I have to make this film? I didn't know. It's whatever I have in my bank account, right? It's like, I don't care. What do I need now? I need to buy pizzas for everybody. So that's 20 euros. Okay, that's 20 euros or 20 pounds, Like, it doesn't make sense to talk about budget when we're talking about this type of film, right? It's like, hey, if you don't need to pay people, you're in business, man. It's like, come on, I got my camera, I got my microphone. Let's go.
It's all you need.
That's all you need, man. It's like, and a story, of course, writing the script. And that's important, But some movies, it's like, I don't know if they wrote a script for that. It's like, so maybe a script is not that important. I don't know. For me, it is, but
Yeah, I mean, the script always makes it, because I think at the end of the day, a lot of the times the film can look like anything, but it's like, what is it? It's got to keep interesting enough to keep you occupied. It's got to keep you. I know there's a lot of films which it's not even like just dialogue. It's like, okay, but how can we progress the story? Like keeping the interest in. That's what it is.
Yeah, exactly. Like that is the hardest part these days. It's like keeping it interesting, like you say, like not boring. And that's what's harder to learn, I think, like and you only learn by doing it many times, in terms of you write, you go and you shoot and you edit and you show it to people and people are like, meh. And now they're like, okay, rinse and repeat. You go, you shoot, you edit, you show it to people. And that's what people sometimes don't want to do, right? They don't want to go through this process, right, of failure,
Yeah.
Because to get me to Killer Sofa, Killer Sofa is my third feature film. And, I made two films which are pretty unwatchable. I don't know. I like them, but people don't seem to like them, right? So it's like, I'm so glad that this one worked. And it was not easy. Like, it took me a while to figure out the ending. It was hard. Like, in the end, it was not hard to make the film. Was a joy. But some things happened that made it hard. Like, I was editing the film, for example. This is something that happened. I was editing the film and I was 6 months into the edit. Okay, 6 months. Like, I had a completed film already. Right. And I had the film in my hard drive. And I dropped my hard drive and it disappeared. Like, not the footage. I still had the footage in hard drives, but the Premiere, Adobe Premiere file became corrupted. Oh my God. It's like, I was depressed for like 3 months. My girlfriend was like, oh, can't you just edit it again? And I was like, you don't understand.
You don't understand.
This is 6 months, man. It's like, I'm not
every filmmaker's nightmare.
But then all the actors kept asking me, hey, when are we going to see the movie? I was like, come on, I need to finish this. So I man up and redid everything. Like, now it didn't take me 6 months, it took me 3 months, but still 3 months doing everything again, synchronizing audio and video. It's like, it's insane, man. But I'm glad I did it. Now I look back and I laugh, but when I was there doing it, my God, it's like, it's the worst.
It's always in the moment where you're like, because everyone at the moment now, for me, is like, people have been uploading their films and stuff. Well, like in the past few weeks and stuff, everyone's uploading, and the amount of people that are like, oh, this is like gone, like the footage is gone, like the final product is gone, oh, we're having like synchronization issues, and like everyone panicking and stuff. And there's like it was very lucky for me because I was doing production design, so for my film, and I was like, once I'm done, I'm done. My hands are off the wheel now. Good luck at you guys. This is why I don't edit. But it's you can always look back at it and laugh like after, but it's in that moment you're like, oh my goodness, when you lost all the footage, or like something. It takes one thing for it to all just unravel, and it happens. I think it's like has to happen to everyone at some point. It's like a law of filmmaking at this point. It's just footage is either going to get lost or corrupt, or
Yeah.
something's going to go wrong with it.
It's just part of the system, part of the thing. If you manage to reach the end of the day of shooting, man, that's a miracle. And you got your footage, you got your sound. It's like, my God, it's such a good feeling. But yeah, I got friends who lost footage, and I'm glad I didn't lose. Like, all my footage was not in my hard drive, right? But I just lost the edit file, which was like 2 megabytes. It's like, come on. I sent to a special, like, guys in Russia that kind of reconstruct the hard drive. I paid a fortune for that, like $200. They're like, yes, we'll try our best. And they did try their best. They got some stuff back, but not that file. So I was like, come on, I just have to do it again. But yeah, you're right. I mean, making movies is hard, right? It's like, come on. It can be extremely easy. Sometimes it's so easy. Like, Killer Sofa was easy to make in terms of, getting the actors to come and shooting the things. That was not hard. It was hard work because it's many days. But anyone can do it. If you show up for work, you show up to shoot. And sometimes I didn't feel like it. There were days I was like, I had a headache or something, but then you just show up and you do the best you can. And then in the end of the day, when you look at those 20 days, you're like, my God, I got a feature film here. This is huge, right? This is important work. So, yeah.
Oh, wow. I will ask you, or double checking, I've gone through everything. I will ask, like, with the, I think, so some of these are sort of the same sort of thing. I'll ask what the last question again, like, just what people are saying. Was there a favorite moment behind, like, it's a common question, but was there a favorite moment behind the scenes, like, while you were making the film? Was there a moment which, like, really stands out in your mind that you, like, loved?
Yeah, it's hard to think about, like, is there a favorite moment? It's like, because it was all so strange and cool. I mean, there were times where, man, we laughed so much you can't imagine. It's like, come on, it's like it's a good. It's like, I see the movie like it was a party, really. Like, every day we were shooting it. We were just friends making a movie, right? There was no pressure. There was no stress. Of course, it's more stressful for me because I was doing many things. And sometimes I wanted to be chilling out with the actors, and I couldn't because I needed to get the next scene ready, but I would be setting up the lights and I would hear them laugh and having a good time. And that was so good to hear. Like, come on, these guys are having a good time here. And, I don't know. The best moment was when I shot my last scene, I suppose. It was like, come on, it's done, but you never knew because it was so many pickups. I had to come back, and sometimes I would have to call someone and say, hey, you know what, we need to reshoot this part or this part. But that's what makes it cheap. It's like, in a professional Hollywood movie, this doesn't happen. Like, you gotta get it in 20 days or you will not get it, right? For me, it was like, it doesn't matter. I shoot 2 hours, I shoot 3 hours here. I go home and I review everything and I realize, okay, I need to do this. So I call the person and we're going to do it again next weekend or whatever. So it took longer, but that's how you save money. Like, if you're not in a hurry, you're not pressured to have to deliver the film. That's why it was so cheap. I'm telling you, this movie cost me like maybe 10,000 euros. I mean, altogether for 2 years, it's like there's nothing, right? And this is more money for hard drives. For hard drives, it was like 1,000 euros for a filter or a lens to the camera, or, pizza, food. This is.
Yeah, the actual the actual, like, production aspects of, like, the kit and the food and everything, it always ends up being one of the most, like, the things that does generally just, like, take up the most money half the time. It's just like,
the camera I used for Killer Sofa is a Blackmagic production camera 4K. I just saw it today. Like, I could buy it for 200 euros. Like, that camera that I shot 4K with, when I bought it, cost me 2,000, right, back in the day. But now it's 200, and I would buy it again in a heartbeat. It's like, that camera is amazing, right? It's like, it looks professional, man. It's like, come on, it's so gear these days, man. Any iPhone or whatever, People say that all the time. Oh, you can shoot it with your iPhone. Yeah, you can, but do you want to? Yeah, maybe, I don't know, but that's not the problem anymore. Any camera you buy now will do the job, so
yeah. I had to take that. I had to mark down that Blackmagic one and have a look at it myself, I think, and see what they're doing. But it's great. I mean, sometimes it is hard to like have one moment. Sometimes it's just like the general experience and stuff. And it's nice to hear, like, some of the best bits was just hearing everyone have fun, because that's like, the last thing you want on a set is everyone just to be miserable the entire time. And that shows like being you did a lot of roles and that, but it takes someone that like kind of knows what they're doing, is like good with it, to be able to keep that like excitement up, because film sets get hard, they get tiring, people get hungry and tired and antsy, and being able to keep people like up and interested and stuff is
that's like, something in a movie like this. There's only one person who really wants to get it done. The other people are just there to have fun, or because they said yes, or but normally there's only one, and in this movie it was me. Like, I need to get this done, right? So it's, if you're making the film, it's like you have to realize you are hosting this party. You are the host of this party, right? So it's a party. Like, everybody needs to have fun, and sometimes that's hard when you're starting out to get, because you're so focused and you get nervous and you're in pain, right? Because you're trying to do something, but it's physically painful sometimes, carrying stuff. But at the end of the day, you got to realize people are doing you a favor, right? So they're there because you have a vision, and they want to help you out because they like you. So keep that in mind and try to understand that it's just a movie, right? It's not like it's not a master. You're not painting Mona Lisa here. It's like, if you need to say it, it's not gonna happen. It's fine, right? Sometimes I had to say that. It's like, okay, we're not going to be able to do this, so let's not do it, right? It's not I was not like, oh my god, like in God mode, right? It's like, I gotta finish this and you guys don't understand my vision. No, man, it's like, it's just a movie. In the end of the day, it's like, hey, we tried, we couldn't do it, it's fine, we'll try something else. I think that's the best advice for anything, and like the best outlook of looking at any of that stuff. Like, it's just a movie, and you don't want to lose a friend over a movie. And that happened to me a few times, where it's like, you're asking, that's why sometimes working with friends is complicated, because you're asking people to stay there for many hours, and people get grumpy, and people are not eating well, and everybody wants to go home. And, and you got to keep that in mind. It's like, okay, this is just a film. I'm not going to push this person to the absolute edge, because friendships are more important, right? So you at some point you say, it's just not going to happen, or hey, let's never mind. It's like, sometimes you're asking an actor to do something and they can't do it, and you're getting anxious because this was your favorite scene and you need that scene, and they're not doing it, and sometimes you just gotta understand, okay, this is not a battle I'm going to win, so let's move on.
We're already here now. It's too late. There's nothing you can do to back up and fix this. You're there. That's it. There's no turning back. You just got to accept the situation.
That's the thing. When you're shooting, sometimes you lose scope of things, because you're in the moment. But sometimes you go to post, and the thing you thought it was very shitty, it's actually brilliant, and that person gave you everything you wanted in the first take, right? And you're like, my God, I was just so looking at other things, I didn't realize that this was happening. So I rely a lot on that. Sometimes I'm thinking, I this is not working out, and I don't know why, but I already shot 2 takes, so I just have to trust that whatever happens in post, I will be okay. And that 80% of the times you're actually okay, as long as it's in focus and you got sound, right? It's like, come on, it's
that's great. I would say it's great advice to listen to anyway and stuff. It's just
thank you.
Filmmaking. It's the best way of looking at it, and I do think people forget it. But I really appreciate you taking the time to talk and answer all these questions, and answer all about with the filmmaking process and the film and stuff. Like it's a great pleasure. I was wondering